G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Super Strike that has been revamped for the Piccolo. So this is the TEQ Piccolo and this is the Namekian Warrior Super Strike and how it's been obviously redone. Now there's 4 stages to a Super Strike usually, and it works pretty simply. The first stage will drop the character, the second stage will drop the awakening medals to awaken that character to a UR rating, the third stage will drop the medals to awaken them to a TUR rating, and then the fourth stage will drop medals to Extreme Z awaken them. The Androids category is the bonus category for this event, so make sure that you use Androids category characters and at the highest rarity possible, as that's going to net you out the biggest bonuses. Aside from that, pretty straightforward stuff. From the first stage, what you're going to do is you're going to farm yourself 15 copies of Piccolo. The reason you're going to be farming 15 copies of Piccolo is because you want 10 copies of Piccolo that you make your baseline copy of Piccolo. This will be the one that is at SA 10, and then you'll have a second copy of Piccolo that is at SA 5. This is important because later on he will take his super attack level from 10 to 15, and you want to be able to obviously raise his super attack level using the free copy of Piccolo. You don't need to worry about his hidden potential system or his later EZA, as we receive those copies of those characters from his missions. And that's that. We're just going to skip ahead through the first stage, farming the 15 copies. You do technically only need to farm 14 copies, as you do get one from the missions. So just keep that in mind. Now of course, we move on to having the 14 copies. You'll notice if I go to my inventory here, or my character list, that I do have the 14 copies, but now we do need to awaken both variants of Piccolo to a UR rating. So before we talk about awakening Piccolo and everything, what we're going to do is we are going to go to stage 2 and farm ourselves 14 medals from stage 2. So we're going to go to stage 2, enter the stage and farm 14 medals. 7 for the one copy of Piccolo and 7 for the other copy of Piccolo. Again, keeping it super simple, keeping it very straightforward, and obviously making sure that we get it done quite quickly. Using our boosts, you can use items like Bulla and Vegeta GT, Oolong, anything like that to really improve your chances of getting some good drops. So now that we have done the process of obtaining both our 15 copies of Piccolo and our medals to awaken them to a UR state, you will notice that if I go to our character list, that we have the Piccolo copies, which are great, and we're going to quickly obviously push them to that UR state. So you can see here, there we go, perfect, Piccolo awakening, fantastic. And then we're going to obviously create a second copy of Piccolo that is at SA 5. I will be using up all my remaining copies of Piccolo, that's just to prevent overflow. But you can see there that I'm awakening him to his UR state. So there you can see we have one Piccolo at UR state. This one with SA 10 we're going to lock, so that obviously we do not get rid of him. Then we're going to go back to the other Piccolo and we're going to max out his SA, which is great. We'll pretty much max it out. Not necessary, you only need to have him at SA 5. And then same thing, we're going to awaken this Piccolo. Now with both Piccolos awakened, we're going to go back to the missions for the event and we're going to collect the Piccolos that are the reward there. Now the event, once we Dokkan awaken our first Piccolo, does give us some more Piccolos that we can use, which is very important. We are going to awaken our first Piccolo, the one with 10. You see we've awoken him to another section or to the next step, and we're going to feed in our 5 Piccolo. This is because his SA was at 10 out of 15, So this maxes his SA and opens him up to have his hidden potential system activated. Now we're going to collect all the Piccolos from the mission rewards, and then we're going to activate the individual steps of his hidden potential system. So going to each path, opening that up, then we'll go back to the missions and collect the final copies of Piccolo. After this process, you should have 5 individual copies of the awakened SSR Piccolo, and you should have 1 copy of Piccolo that is at SA15 with all of his hidden potential paths opened. You will then train the 5 copies of Piccolo into 1 copy, and that copy will be used for when we extremely awaken our Piccolo later on. So you can see there, all pretty good so far. Really super straightforward stuff. Obviously going to train this Piccolo because we are going to be awakening him once more. So once we've done that, we're all ready to go. The next step will be to return to the event and go to step 3, where we will need to get 10 Dokkan Awakening medals. Again, we need 10 per copy, so we will go get the 10 per copy, come back, and then obviously Dokkan Awaken both copies to their next stage. So similar thing, we're going to change the team to Android and be pretty good to go. Now we farmed the necessary medals, we're ready to Dokkan Awaken both sets of Piccolo. Once we've done that, the final step is just to Dbz Awaken Piccolo, which is pretty stock standard. Now of course, you can see here, we have Dokkan Awaken both. Please remember to obviously lock the correct copy of Piccolo, which should be the one that has SA15 and all the 4 hidden potential paths opened. If you have them open and you know what build you want to go, then you can go for a rainbow build, and that should help you tell the difference as well. Now the final step is to extremely awaken him. This requires us to complete some missions, beating the event within a certain time limit, making sure we have a team of all androids, and using a Cell first form character. The team that we've been using so far will suffice and complete this pretty easily, but there are still some pretty nice options that you can use. Units like the int Android 16 and the physical Android 8 and 17, because these units do provide a little bit more. Android 16 is very strong defensively against Cell because of his int typing and the way his mechanics work. And then we have the physical 17 and 8, Android 8, who obviously provide the stunning. Stunning is helpful. It's not mandatory, but it is helpful because what it does is it allows us to essentially prevent Piccolo from healing and also prevents him from super attacking, and just basically makes our life a lot easier. Ultimately, at the end of the day, super duper easy stuff, and setting up the team is pretty straightforward and easy. You shouldn't have any major issues if you use this team. If you are a new player, these are all free-to-play units. The hardest one to get is probably the Cell first form. You can just use a summonable one if you want to. You do not have to complete the missions. The missions just simply reduce the amount of time it takes for you to get the Extremely Awakening medals. So, for example, if you do all the missions, you complete the Extremely Awakening within 3 turns or 3 attempts of the stage. So doing it 3 times gets you all the medals you need. If you miss a set of missions, you have to do an extra run. So for example, if you don't have first form Cell, then you're going to have to play the stage 4 times instead of 3 times. But that should be not too bad. I don't think any players will have any major issues with that. It should be a pretty straightforward concept overall. But aside from that, that's pretty much everything you need to know. Honestly speaking, not too much can be said about this Extremely Awakening. The androids, free-to-play units are more than good enough. You do just need to watch out, obviously, for type advantage or type disadvantage super attacks. But yeah, if you're bringing stunning, if you're bringing strong int characters, then you should be fine, because the second phase against Piccolo is strength, so you should be able to handle it fine. Once you have completed the stage the appropriate number of times, you will then be able to Dokkan Awaken your Piccolo. So all fairly good, or sorry, Extremely Awaken your Piccolo. So all fairly good, straightforward, nice and simple. As you can see, we've completed the missions. We will accept our reward. Fantastic. And then now we are ready to go Extreme Awaken Piccolo. And when we do, we will feed our second copy of Piccolo into that copy of Piccolo so that we can have a max SA of 20. All pretty solid stuff, honestly speaking. Nice and straightforward. Really good rewards as always for a Super Strike. And we'll have to see just how good Piccolo looks in a separate video. Is he going to be a solid Super Strike option? Is he going to be an average one? Is he going to help elevate Namekians? We'll have to find out. But for now, that's basically it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.